Good morning, everyone. It's story time again. Today's story is called Byron's New York City Experience. My name is Byron. In 1983, I was 7 years old. It was in September that we as a family made our way to New York Seminary in order that my dad could pursue his master's in theology. New York City was the place we were headed. The first day after we arrived, my mum decided to take us down to see the local store. However, because I loved to be bare feet, I had left home without any shoes on, and as I got out of the lift or the elevator, a young American guy said, "Hey, kid, ain't no one in New York walks bare feet. Where are your shoes?" I got such a fright. I went straight up back to the apartment and put on my flip-flops. I never walked bare feet in New York City ever again. When schools were about to be open, we were advised by the community to join the group that had turns to take children in and out of the school day, because no child was unaccompanied in New York City, simply because of safety. So we formed this little group, and we all had turns to take children to the same school on the bus to and from. This school was very cool because we didn't have to wear uniforms. We could wear jeans and t-shirts, and that's exactly what I did because I love casual wear. The one exciting thing was our trip to the New York Zoo. It was huge. Also, the thing is, it was my first time seeing polar bears, koala bears, and kangaroos. It was so wonderful to see God's creatures in another part of the world. However, I was so excited to be part of this group going to school because it immediately gave me new friends. I am the friendly one in the family, speak to everybody, make friends easily. So it was just up my alley to be in this group. We had such a lot of fun on the bus to and from school. So in the summer, we had a long holiday, 3 months actually. And New York was buzzing because it never ever sleeps. 24/7, there's something happening in New York City. But the coolest thing was we were treated to free concerts in the park. And we had picnics in Central Park, especially when we got visitors from South Africa, and there were many visitors that came to see how we were doing in New York City. And so we would take them on this picnic, and we would have so much fun riding our bicycles in the park, having lots of games with our visitors. It was the coolest time, summertime. There was music around, different bands playing music. It was so different from South Africa. We could go anywhere at any time. Every racial group was mixed, and there was no such thing as you can't do this or you can't be here, like we had been accustomed to in South Africa. Wow. I could not believe that we were on this amazing adventure. Well, we also went on summer camps. My parents decided to be leaders of the summer camps. That meant that we could go and we could fly to different states for free and to meet children from all over America. So we went to many states. And as the programs were so exciting in the mornings, we had free playtime in the afternoons. The coolest thing was all the hamburgers and chips or fries, French fries as they call them. And my worst was sloppy joes. Sloppy joes was a sweet, tomatoey mincemeat. Yuck. I didn't like it at all. They put it on a bun, and the Americans thought it was wonderful, but oh my word, no. They should have just curried the mince. It would have been much, much better. And when we first got there, at the seminary, there was a Christmas nativity play. Remember, I was only 7 years old, just barely ready to read and to write. But my dad said, okay, I have a perfect part for you, Byron, in the Christmas pageant. I want you to be the boy Nicholas. You need to sing a beautiful part because you have a wonderful voice. And Mum will help you along because I'm still busy with my studies. I struggled. I stressed. As the time came nearer for this play, I thought, am I going to make it? But I have a drill sergeant for a mother, and she drilled me until I was perfect. So on the night, when I sang my beautiful part with my solo cantor treble, wow, was I a hit with all the girls and boys, all adults, mind you, at New York Seminary. The children applauded and they thought I was the best thing since sliced bread. Well, I didn't need too much to boost my popularity because I was already popular. We also belonged to a church, a very upmarket church called St. James Church, Madison Avenue, if you please. We took a yellow cab from the west side where we lived to the east side, to the church. And what was more was, I became an acolyte, a server, and served at many services on Sunday mornings. That was my best. But the plus was after the service, when my mum and dad went to the second service, Stephen and I were let loose in the dining hall. There was a silver urn, especially during the winter months when it was so cold outside. They had soup in a silver urn. I'd never seen a silver urn in my entire life. However, I just enjoyed opening the tap and pouring soup for Stephen and me. And we enjoyed so many cups of soup, so that at lunchtime we were still full. We couldn't eat our lunch. Dad understood, and we thought, oh dear, okay, it's all right. He's not getting angry because we really made little piglets of ourselves at these soup feasts on Sunday mornings. Although we weren't wearing uniforms for school, however, St. James Church was a different story altogether. Imagine, Sunday mornings, I had to don proper pants, lounge shirts, and a jacket with proper shoes to go with it. Imagine that. Me, the jeans and t-shirt lad, had to now dress up each Sunday. But I got used to it. I thought I really looked dapper in my fineries. We took many photographs and we absolutely loved it. The next Christmas, we went to a place just outside New York City called Stony Bridge. And we were going as a guest to a very large mansion left by a very wealthy New York family for international students. We left a few days before Christmas, and when we got there, this place was ginormous. There were so many rooms to this place. And what was more, we met children from other families from around the world. All the international students brought their families to Christmas dinner. What we had to do in return for living in this palatial place was we had to look after the place. We had to clean our rooms, make our beds, help with washing, dusting, and polishing of the furniture. I thought that was a good trade-off for being in this beautiful part of the world. The night before Christmas, Christmas Eve, before we went to midnight service, we were treated to a competition. And the competition was that we use all natural objects from around the place. And because it was winter, they had sticks and twigs and all sorts of wonderful and weird stones and pebbles outside on the ground. So we picked them up, we brought them back, and our job was to make a wall mural. They gave us large pieces of paper, and so the competition began. We thought about it and planned what we would do as a family. So we thought we'll make a South African hut because there were little twigs, and we made some people. And with the pebbles, we made like an outside fire and some greenery around it because South Africa is mostly green. And we put this up as our offer of the mural. Later that evening, the murals were judged. And guess what? We won hands down. Ours was the best and the most unique of all the murals. Yay, for South Africa and for us. On Christmas Day, we got up early as usual. We tidied up and got ready and got dressed, waiting. The smells from the kitchen, because our parents all took turns to cook. Oh, was there a feast at 1 o'clock on Christmas Day. There was roast chicken and roast lamb and roast beef with gravy oozing. There was sweet potatoes, there were roast potatoes, there was vegetables of all descriptions that I didn't touch on the table. And for pudding, there was fruit mince pies and Christmas pudding. I hate both of those. So I just tucked into the ice cream that went with it and ate a lot of ice cream. So those were two of the very many wonderful, exciting things that we did at that Christmas holiday. We made many, many friends at camp, at school, around the area, in the community of those that worked and studied. And we still today have those friends that we keep in contact with. My New York experience was extremely enjoyable. And imagine, the cherry on the top was the gift opening at this Christmas home. Each family was told ahead of time to bring a gift for each of their children. And imagine, we're all sitting, waiting expectantly. We all open our gifts as we receive them, with lots of paper and wrapping all over the floor. We looked and played with our new toys that we unwrapped. What joy, what joy, what joy filled the air. The 3 years really flew by. But the whole experience of those 3 years were unique opportunities, and the family's gift for a trip abroad formed a huge part of my early memories. It was a privilege indeed. Hope you enjoyed the story.